Oh man, it would seem Bleed Esports is bleeding, and I couldn't think of a single better line. What is up, peeps? Hope we're all doing well. Welcome back to more esports news. The biggest esports drama of this past weekend, we now have criminal charges being faced of a CEO of an esports organization, that being Bleed Esports, but that's not even where the story began. This is just weeks ago where it was actually Bleed Esports kicked from Valorant's VCT for not meeting payment requirements and apparently a slew of other things, as Valorant themselves had to announce, stating that Riot Games has removed Bleed Esports from VCT Pacific and promotes Boom Esports instead. After careful consideration, Riot Games had made the decision to remove Bleed from the Valorant Champions Tour and VCT Pacific. Bleed Esports was terminated due to its failure to comply with critical reporting requirements and other key obligations under the team participation agreement. In other words, they were not paying their players and not reporting several things to Riot that they need on their side of things. We also had Bleed give a statement about this, trying to maybe, what's the word for it? Staunch the bleeding. There's probably fancier words out there. Trying to stop the bleeding and trying to give a response to the community, until a few days later where all of this did continue. It was Kassad, and that's over in the CS division for Bleed Esports, managing things over there, and have put things together over several months, where he then had a statement about the CS team going unpaid and having delayed payments, which made it very hard for them to even attract players, as rumors began to swell that Bleed Esports, they weren't paying. And if they were, it was never on time, which you can imagine is probably hard to want to go somewhere where the money might be there, but if it doesn't, ever come, then it's just a number. As in a lengthy statement, he said, due to the latest news and development inside the Bleed organization, we have decided to take things publicly. After months of attempting to resolve our internal issues privately, we feel compelled to share what has transpired and is still ongoing. Bleed's upper management team has constantly ignored our concerns, leaving us no choice but to go public and to cut all ties with them. From the outset, we've grappled with delayed salaries up to 4 months at a time, buyouts, boot camps, and other payments. For reference, most of the players got their first salary in April, even though they signed contracts in December. Before, for their boot camp, it was actually organized and paid 50% by Kassad, who is making this statement, and 50% by the players. Other organizations have confirmed that they have failed to pay buyouts for several players, still not paid to this day, threatening them with legal actions and going public with the information if they don't pay. And about 60% of tournament prize money is still outstanding. Several times during the last 4 to 5 months, the team refused to play officials and practice weeks at a time until some of the payments were actually made. Multiple players from the divisions, that being Dota 2, Valorant, and R6, reached out to us with similar concerns, not to mention employees who are regularly giving notices about breaches of contract and delayed salaries. And on top of that, talking about a CEO who nobody can find, nobody knows where he is. Now, Bleed also tried to address this statement about the CS2 roster. Keep in mind, there are now evidence out there between all rosters, not just Valorant, CS2, R6, and whatnot, was also Dota 2 also being mentioned. Just seems like everyone either had delayed payments or missing payments, other teams not being paid as well. A lot of missing money. And so Bleed dared to respond to this, and Kassad then quotes that with all of the amounts outstanding that they have to other players and staff, which is no light amount. Saying $130K was not paid to Apex from May 15th, $42K is not paid to G2, $100,000 in prize money is missing, $15K not paid to Faven, $15K not paid to Cirque, another $10K, $30K there. Oh my goodness, stop lying, you clowns. And so you think, okay, they're bleeding, right? This is not a good look. They're certainly going downhill. And well, it gets worse, as now more has been uncovered that apparently criminal charges are being brought against their CEO, Mr. Mervin. Now, we don't know exactly what these criminal charges are for. There are suspicions out there, but nonetheless, criminal charges are not very good. So we'll see if he actually shows up to the court date. But even regardless of this CEO instance, which does seem bad, certainly we'll see how it goes and keep you all posted. Even just the several hundred thousands of dollars that are owed being removed from Valor, your CS2 roster has now left and nobody else is being paid. This is classic East. We haven't seen something this bad in a long time, but people see this and go, wow, there's still esports teams out there like this. That's crazy. So certainly feeling for all the talent and the players out there. It could not have been easy to operate under a team where you're not being paid, but you're promised a paycheck and then you're expected to play and you don't want to be kicked because then you're definitely not going to get your money. It's this constant a never-ending circle of like, yeah, like maybe I'll get paid next month, so I'm going to keep on playing this month. We've seen it time and time again in esports teams, and you never know when to go public, because if you're the first and they let you go, and then the drama's not big enough, right, and doesn't get enough eyes on it, then certainly nothing's going to be done about this. But no more eyes could possibly have seen this, the fall of Bleed Esports, and not paying so many people out there. We'll see what's next, but it's a sucky situation, man, because Bleed Esports came into the scene, and especially with the signing of Ye over in the Valorant space now a long time ago, people thought, oh, they got endless money. And somehow it seems like the people with the most money never quite have it in this space. Till next time, though, what do you guys think about this? Drink some water and coffee. I'll see you back here bright and early tomorrow morning with some more esports and gaming news, okay? Ta-ta.